Here summary guidance. Let's have a quick view on the poem Sita by Toru Dutt. Let's move on to the short introduction. Toru Dutt was pioneering Indian poet who wrote in English, French, and Bengali, significantly contributing to Indian literature and being one of the first Indian women to gain recognition in English literature. When we talk about the poem Sita, she draws from Indian mythology, particularly the Ramayana, to explore the themes of maternal love, resilience, and cultural identity, highlighting her deep connection to her Indian heritage. The poem Sita is rich in natural imagery. As we go through the lines, we could find the imagery that descriptions of forest, rivers, and serene landscapes, enhancing the poem's atmospheric and emotional depth. The core of the poem is the poem employs a frame narrative where a mother recounts the story of Sita to her children, to her three children, creating an intimate and emotional storytelling experiencing that bridges the mythological past with the present. Let's move on to the poetry summary. The poem starts with the three happy children in a darkened room. What do they gaze on with wide open eyes? The poem starts with three children sitting happily in a dimly lit room, looking at something with wide, curious eyes. So here, a dense forest. They are imagining a thick forest, a thick forest where no sunlight enters. And in its central part of the forest, in the middle of the forest, there is a clearing with huge flowers growing on winds that wrap around the tall trees, creepers that embrace tall trees. Now, the lines here talks about how the forest having a calm lake with the swans gliding on it, peacocks jump up from the bushes, and groups of wild deer run around. There in a quiet, lucid lake, the white swans glide, they're wearing from the break, the peacock springs, their herds of wild deer race. So here the lines clarifies that some parts of the forest have fields of yellow grain and light blue smoke rises from altars, suggesting rituals or prayers. Their patches gleam with yellow waving grain. Their blue smoke from strange altars rises light. There dwells in peace the poet and poet, right? A hermit poet lives peacefully in this serene place. But who is this fair lady? Not in vain she weeps, for oh, at every tear she sheds tears from three pairs of young eyes fall a mine, and bowed in sorrow are the three young heads. A beautiful woman appearing in the children's imagination, she starts to cry as she cries, as the beautiful woman cries, the three children also begin to cry. They were deeply moved by her sadness and bow their heads in sorrow. So how the sadness connects with the children. It is an old story. So the story the children are imagining is an old one about Sita. Of course, it's the character from the ancient tales, Ramayana, the great epic. Their mother is singing this story to them. As she finishes the song, the images of the story fade away, but the children will keep dreaming about it until morning. So when the story was narrated by by their mother, which has evoked sad Sita from the past as by a mother sung, it's hushed at last and melts the picture from their sight away. But yet shall they dream of it until the day. They keep dreaming. When shall those children by their mother's side gather round me as rest as eventide? So it is the last lines. The poem ends with a nostalgic question about when the children will gather around their mother again, like this, just as they did this evening. So it is a kind of a question. The poem talks about the nostalgic question about when do the children will gather again. So that's all about the poem. Let's move on to the mind map, which will easily make you to remember the entire summary of the poem and help you to write your essay. You can make use of this mind map while writing your essay. Subtitle suggestions. Use these subtitles while writing your essay. Imagining a dense forest. You give a details about the forest, weeping lady, story of Sita, nostalgic gathering. So here goes the key points. This will definitely help you to remember the entire summary. Let's have a quick look on the outline summary. So the poem starts with three children were sitting happily in a dim light room, looking something bright, curious eyes. They were imagining a thick forest where no sunlight reaches. Here in the forest, center of the forest, they could see a clearing with huge flowers and tall trees. They visualizes a calm lake with swans gliding the swans and birds fly. The peacock were jumping from the bushes. The wild deers run around. So a peaceful poet lives in this serene forest setting. Here, the beautiful lady appears and she is crying, which affects the children deeply. Also, they are deeply moved by her sadness and bow their heads in sorrow. So here we could find the scene comes from an ancient story about Sita sung by their mother. So the poem ends with a nostalgic note, a question, wondering when the children will be back, will gather around their mother again like they did in this evening. So that's all about the poem. Here goes the study questions, the 2 mark questions. You can revise these questions for your exam preparation. And here goes the essay questions. That's all about the poem Sita by Toru Dutt. I hope this video is useful to you. Thank you all for your patient listening. Thank you.